Hello, everyone. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Tuesday, which means that this is another episode of We're Luncheon. And I am Dawn Morris, the Chief Training Officer for the World Class Training Institute, where our mission is to arm you with the tools to improve your organization's greatest resource, which is human capital. And we do that through leadership and professional development training programs. Please make sure to subscribe to this channel. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button right now so that you will be reminded every time we upload new content to help you. So please make sure that you subscribe to the World Class Training Institute channel so that you can be in the know on all things related to leadership and professional development. Now, today, we're talking about not your P's and Q's, but your IQs, EQs, and AQs. These are the quotients that help make you impactful in the workplace. And I'm going to share with you the Q that is in today's environment being seen as the most important quotient to have in your human capital arsenal. So before we do that, let me first share with you the definitions of the three main quotients that we'll be talking about today, okay? So the first one is the one that's called the IQ, which a lot of us are familiar with. It is a total score derived from a set of standardized tests or subtests designed to assess human intelligence. IQ is, of course, your intelligent quotient. So there's a series or battery of tests that one gets, and they get an IQ score, and that measures your ability or your level of intellect, so to speak. So that quotient is, of course, important because it speaks to how well you learn, how educated you are, those types of things. IQ is absolutely important. Let's look at the next one. The next one I want to share with you guys is called EQ, which is your emotional quotient. So this one is another important one in organizations, and it's defined as the capability of individuals to recognize their own emotions and those of others, discern between different feelings, and label them appropriately, use emotional information to guide thinking and behavior, and adjust emotions to adapt to environments. So when we're thinking about your emotional quotient, we're thinking about your reaction versus response to certain things, to certain stimuli. It's thinking about how aware you are of emotional triggers and how you handle them. It's talking about how aware you are socially and how you're able to regulate your interactions so that you can achieve positive results. So emotional quotient is absolutely important as well. And some might argue that emotional quotient is even more important than intellect, because you can know something, but if you're not able to regulate how you're communicating to others by first regulating your emotions and then how you disseminate how you're feeling about whatever the stimuli is to others, it can negatively impact you. So emotional quotient is the second one. And the third one that I want to share with you guys is what's called the AQ, or the adaptability quotient, which is the ability to adjust course, product, service, and strategy in response to unanticipated changes in the market. I'm going to say that again. The ability to adjust course, product, service, and strategy in response to unanticipated changes in the market. Now, I have a question for you guys. Given the last year, which of these quotients do you think would be most valuable? Well, they're all important. Absolutely. I did a recent survey on LinkedIn, and you guys can follow the World Class Training Institute there. Follow me there because I do a poll every week. Last week's poll was around which quotient is most important. Most people said EQ. There was a small percentage that said AQ. And the answer is that the AQ, given today's environment, is seen as most important. And I'm going to show you guys the difference, the definition again, and then talk briefly about it. So AQ, the ability to adjust course, product, service, and strategy in response to unanticipated changes in the market. So given that we are still in the midst of COVID season, think about the pivots that had to be made. Think about the adjustments that had to be made due to the unanticipated changes in the market. If you are a leader and you are operating in an organization where you have to make pivots and changes not only to your processes, but to your people related to COVID, your adaptability quotient must be high. It must be high. So that quotient is one that leaders are looking at today to say, you know what, if I'm thinking about how people are going to be sustained in an organization, those who have the highest AQs are going to be the ones who will achieve great success. And in fact, what I'm going to do is share with you, according to Amy Edmondson, who's a professor of leadership and management at Harvard Business School, it's the rapid speed of change that makes AQ so valuable today, considerably more valuable than IQ and EQ. The better we are at adapting, the easier we can embrace change and progress. And so I say to you all this, yes, it's great to have great intellect. Your intellectual quotient is very important. EQ is important as well, because if we're not in touch with who we are, our emotional triggers, how we can manage those triggers, and then others around us, and how we can regulate and be aware of what's going on with the people with whom we communicate, we're going to be challenged. Additionally, and I'm going to say extremely importantly, we must develop a muscle for adaptability so that we can be successful as markets change unexpectedly, because we just saw it happen. And those who were not able to pivot saw themselves being extremely challenged from a business standpoint and from a relationship standpoint. So please, we do training related to IQ, EQ, and AQ. We even have an assessment for EQ that we'll be rolling out soon. So make sure that you contact us, the World Class Training Institute. We can help you guys with your Qs and strengthening your Qs, particularly as it relates to your EQ and your AQ, because understanding that you do have to be able to adapt very quickly, and you also have to be able to manage first be aware of who you are, be aware of your emotions, your emotional triggers, and then learn to adapt them and to adjust them, as well as the society around you. So please reach out to us, again, the World Class Training Institute, for a consultation. It's worldclasstraining.net, or I always say you can call me. I do still answer the phone at 615-716-9990. That's 615-716-9990. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. I hope this was valuable for you. Play it back so that you can get more comfortable with these definitions. And again, we'd love to come train your teams on this, provide you with the EQ assessment for your team so that they will know, your leaders in particular, so that they will know where they are in relation to their emotional quotient. And then we can talk through how to strengthen your muscle for your adaptability quotient as well. Thank you so much One final thing, we are still in the process of the Pressured Into It series. So please grab a t-shirt for yourselves, ladies, for your mothers, your sisters. Have a girls' weekend out and wear this t-shirt. We're running this to the end until the end of this month. How do you become a diamond? You're pressured into it. So it's the heat and the pressure that makes a diamond. And as ladies who've been pressured, we become diamonds. So walk in that. It's been amazing. Thank you guys so much. Remember, stay on your cues, and I will see you next time. When you're better, we're better. Bye-bye. I get to push myself to victory.